What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of my hip hop review. Before I start, I want to say my condolences to the family of Bobby Christina. As you guys may have known, that she passed away, as I should say, yesterday, and at the age of 22. Pretty sad. My condolences to Sissy Houston. My condolences to Bobby Brown. May Bobby Christina rest in peace. And now let me get started with the review. And believe it or not, this is actually the last of my request series that I'm doing. These next two requests this week are the last. And they're both by Everett Harding. He requested me to do a lot of albums, so I finally got to them. I'm going to review an album that doesn't really get the credit it deserves these days, but here it is. This is the Lench Mob with Guerillas in the Mist, released in 1992 on, I believe it was, Lench Street Knowledge label. Yeah, actually, very dope album, but I'm gonna say my opinion after. For those of you who don't know what the Lench Mob are, they're a group that was Ice Cube's Proteges. They consist of members JD, Shorty, and T-Bone, and Mulkey. But although Mulkey, he actually came to the group after this album. I'm gonna get into that after I finish the review. Excuse me. They formed in 1990, and they hooked up with Ice Cube, and Ice Cube loved them so they loved their sound a lot that he actually got them to on his America's Most Wanted album, which is an album I reviewed last year. Very dope album, classic album. And yeah, so between 1991 and 1992, this album came out, Guerillas in the Mist. This is West Coast hip hop at its finest, though. I mean, this is a very aggressive album right here. Like, this is like the angry, like 1992. I don't know about 1992. You had like these rap albums that were like more aggressive, more angry, like Boogie Down Production, Sex and Violence, Brand Nubians, and God We Trust. What else? You have Paris, Sleeping with the Enemy, like that. I love that, like, militant sound a lot. You know what I'm saying? And this was like no different, because they were associated with Ice Cube, and the deal with Ice Cube, And so I love the title Guerillas in the Mist. That was actually a popular movie at the time. So singles I was known for are Girls in the Mist and Freedom Got an AK. What else? And the reason why they titled the album Guerillas in the Mist is because of the fact that, like, they kind of compare themselves, like, to gorillas, like the animal gorillas. And this is around the time when the LA riots was happening, right? The King. So, and the LA riots, like, people went crazy around that time. So that's why it has the term Guerillas in the Mist. Yeah, producers include Ice Cube, Chili Chill, Mr. Woody, Rashad, and T-Bone. And the only guest appearances on this album are Ice Cube and Be Real of Cypress Hill. I need to get my hands on Cypress Hill's stuff, especially the first 4 albums and that unreleased album that came out with, But other than that, let me get started with reviewing the songs. And as you can hear in the background, there's Scarface, Ice Cube, and N.W.A in Hand of the Dead Body, released in on on Scarface's the Diary album, classic album. I need to do a review on that eventually. Okay, let me get started with the songs. The first track of the album is Capital Punishment in America. Just a little intro, you know, self-explanatory. Sets the whole tone of the album. Track number 2, Buck the Devil. Pretty dope song. What do you mean by the devil? They're talking about the white man, the white race. Because like around that time, you know, a lot of like blacks, especially like in Islam, they always, like Islam religion, they would always call the white man the devil, like, oh, like, you know, the devil. So that's hence that title, Buck the Devil. Track number 3, Lost in the System. That's actually a JD solo track. He actually tells a story, like, he got arrested and he was sent to prison. And like, I think he got arrested over some parking tickets, and next you know he's in prison and he meets all these prisoners, but as soon as he gets out, he's just another nigga that's lost in the system. Like, you have to hear the whole song and we know what he's talking at, what he's getting at. Pretty dope song right there. Has a really good message to it if you really listen deep in the lyrics. Track number 4, You and Your Heroes. That's an interesting song right there, because basically they're bashing like white figures like Elvis, Marilyn Monroe, the Beatles. Hell, they even talk about they even bash Fonzie, the character from Happy Days. So it's a very aggressive song, but at the same time it has like a comedic tune to it. Very good song right there. In a way, you can tell like they were influenced by like that public. In a way, they were kind of like influenced by Public Enemy's "Fight the Power" a little bit though. Yeah, very good song. Track number 5, All on My Nutsack. Self-explanatory. This is actually one of my favorites, probably my favorite song off the album. I love that beat. I love that chorus. Very good song right there. Track number 6, Guerillas in the Mist. This is a grimy ass song. Like, that beat is just so dark and everything like that. Love that song. Like, listen, that's like one of the songs where you have to listen closer to the lyrics to like get what they're comparing themselves, our race to gorillas and stuff like that. Track number 7, Lench Mob. Track number 7, Lench Mob, also in the group. Just a little short song. Track number 8, Ain't Got No Class, featuring Be Real. Dope, another good song. It's a song that talks about like deadbeat parents and how like some of the deadbeat parents ain't taking care of the kids, but they rather like smoke, do crack and all that. Track number 9. What's track number 9? Freedom Got an AK. Dope song. Track number 10, Ankle Blues. Yeah, that's another good song. They actually tell a story on that song. What else? What about that song? Yeah, very good song right there. I love that beat. Track number 11, Who You're Gonna Shoot With That. That's an okay song. Wasn't really too crazy about that. Track number 12, Lord Have Mercy. That song right there is a very deep song. In a way, in my opinion, that's like a more motivational kind of song. Well, like, it does discussing all these problems that they have, but they still keep their head up, you know what I'm saying? And the last song on the album, Inside the Head of a Black Man. Pretty dope outro. I love the outro. And that's all the songs of the album. It's not too long, but not too short, because it's about 13 tracks. Overall, I think this album is a very, very dope album. This is like one of those albums like you listen to and it really takes you back to like 1992. And the thing about this album is like some of the content on this album is still relevant as it is today. Because you know they're talking about like police brutality. You know they're talking about like deadbeat parents. So yeah. What else about this album? Like I heard this. I just recently heard this album again like a couple of days ago, and I loved it. I loved it as much as I loved it when I heard about. I think I heard about 2012. I heard this album for the first time. Very good album right here. This is a West Coast classic in my opinion. It doesn't get them. They don't get them much credit they deserve. I think back then, because most of the videos back then were banned from like MTV, BT, etc. Excuse me. And I kind of feel like this album kind of gets swept under the rug because 1992 was a very good year in hip hop. Like, you had albums like Compton's Most Wanted, Music to Drive By, The Far Side, Bizarre Ride to the Far Side, Dr. Dre's The Chronic, Paris with Sleeping with the Enemy, Ice Cube with The Predator. What else? Damn. Excuse me. Yeah, like the West Coast was booming around that time, and East Coast had some good shit too. You know, you had Pete Rock and C.L. Smooth, Mecca and the Soul Brother, Brand New being In God We Trust. Yeah, so you know, but the West Coast was like dominating around like 1992. That was like the West Coast year. But like this album kind of really got swept under the rug, and it's still a shame though because the next year after this album was released, JD, he actually got life in prison because he was convicted of murder. So they got this other MC called Marquis, and they came out with the last album, unfortunately, called Planet of the Apes, which is an album that's out of print, and so is Girls in the Mist is out of print too. But I seen Gorilla in the Mist in stores from where I live at, like in FYE. But they kind of, it's not too much. You can still get Girls in the Mist, but you just have to look harder. Well, Planet of the Apes is like more, you have to dig deeper to find that album. Other than that, yeah, so after Planet of the Apes, they broke up over like personal issues, money issues, etc. And yeah, and pretty much this is like, it's a shame because they really had so much potential to be like a very good group, you know. Other than that, very good album. I highly recommend this album. If you're a fan of early Ice Cube, more aggressive Ice Cube, or if you're a fan of like Tupacalypse Now, Tupac's first album, you'll most definitely love this album. Cause I feel like this album captures like the angry black man, like in a way. This is Gorillas in the Mist, the Lench Mob, 1992. I need to get my hands on this album. And that's all the time I have. Stay tuned for more stuff. Peace.